Happy Sunday, all football fans. It's time for your weekly picks and predictions. What I personally picked for week number 8 of the NFL season for 2022. We started off the Thursday night game correctly. We picked the Baltimore Ravens to beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And Tom Brady has been slowly declining, it seems, in the past couple of weeks for a multitude of reasons that can be chalked up to his divorce, or his pending divorce, I should say. His age might be affected. There's a lot of people are making a lot of different reasonings. Some sound more like excuses, others sounds like reasons as to why he's been slowly going down hill in the past couple of weeks. But Thursday didn't seem really any different. Baltimore managed to squeak out a win, 27-22, and I think a lot of people picked the Ravens though, so I'm not sure I got a point up on too many people, but I did pick the winning team for Thursday. Now, jumping into the Sunday picks, we have an earlier game, starting off with Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Denver Broncos. I'm going to go with Jacksonville because Denver is looking like one of the bottom tier teams. Not that Jacksonville's necessarily impressing me either, but I feel like the Jaguars might just be able to squeak out a win against Denver. I don't know a lot of people who are picking Denver, of course, because they're kind of not that good, so there is that. Then we go to the normal time games, 2 o'clock games, with the Atlanta Falcons up against the Carolina Panthers. This one I sort of played around with, juggling act, and I ended up, my final decision was the Panthers. I'm going with the Carolina Panthers. The Atlanta Falcons may or may not be able to win this game. I think it's about a 50-50 shot here, because if Carolina can trade away one of their best players and still stick it to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers that brutally, then I haven't seen Atlanta do that to anybody this year, especially not a contender for the game. So yeah, I got to go with Carolina on that one. Then we have, of course, how about them Cowboys up against the Chicago Bears, and that is just an easy wash of a pick. Clearly going the Bears. Nah, man. How about them Cowboys? We're going with the Cowboys on that one. Miami Dolphins up against the Detroit Lions. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. But you know what? That is a weird matchup to me, because it depends on what version of Miami shows up to play, right? So, I am going to go with the Dolphins, but not overly confident with that pick. I can see why some people would pick the Lions for this week. Minnesota Vikings up against the Arizona Cardinals. I had no trouble picking the Vikings. There was not really a shred of doubt that the Vikings are going to be able to take this game away from the Cardinals. Las Vegas Raiders versus the New Orleans Saints. I know a lot of people are going to go with the Raiders. I didn't go with the Raiders and lost out on a point, but I'm going with the Saints. I just am. I still think the Saints are not necessarily a top-tier team. They're middle of the pack. But that being said, the Raiders aren't a top-tier team either. So any given Sunday, we're going with the New Orleans Saints. New England Patriots versus the New York Jets. I'm going with the Jets. I can't believe I'm actually going to do it, but I am going to go with the Jets. The Patriots are basically, their dynasty is over. They are not much without Tom Brady, regardless if you have the big fat cheater himself as head coach. That doesn't matter if you don't have the right chemistry and players on the field to enact what you plan out. So that being the case, I have very little faith in the Patriots anymore. They're not necessarily a team down in the very depths of the bottom, but they're mid-tier at best, and that's being generous. So we're going with the Jets, who have been actually quite impressive with their record thus far this year. I'm quite surprised, and great for all you Jets fans who were sticking it out in their terrible years. Next game is clearly going to be a wash. Eagles versus Steelers. There's just no contest. Let's move on from that. It's clearly the Steelers. Oh yeah, absolutely, 110%. Next game is Tennessee Titans up against the Houston Texans. I'm going with the Titans. Most people are probably going with the Titans. It will be strange to see if Houston does end up pulling up. You know what I mean? It does happen. That's the whole point of any given Sunday. But I think I'm going to go with the favorite this week and go with the Tennessee Titans. Here's where we jump into a couple of they're apparently in the underdog from the over-unders, from what I understand. But either way, we're just going to have to go ahead with it. It's Indianapolis Colts up against the Washington Commanders. I'm going with Washington. I think I have a perfect record with Washington so far this year. Every time I pick them to win games, they win them. When I don't pick them, they lose. So Washington has not done me dirty realistically quite yet, so I'm going with Washington this week. Then we have San Francisco up against the Rams. Two California teams facing off with each other. San Francisco has been letting me down when I've picked them, so I'm going with the Rams. I'm going with Stafford and the Rams. Seattle Seahawks up against the Giants. I am going to go with the Giants. This week, I'm picking my entire division. I'm picking the Cowboys, I'm picking Washington, I'm picking Philly, and I'm picking the Giants. Okay? I'm picking our whole division to sweep this week. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I would like to pick the Seahawks more often, but I feel like the Giants, they've only ever lost to us. They only ever lost to the Cowboys, so I don't feel like they're going to start by losing to the Seahawks. So maybe that's just me. Buffalo Bills up against the Green Bay Packers. Normally this would be this is going to be the big primetime game and stuff like that, but Green Bay sucks. Green Bay has not been doing well at all. They have fallen from grace, and Buffalo is probably the strongest AFC team, or at least in the conversation. So we're going to go with Buffalo Bills on that one to beat Green Bay. And then, of course, the Monday night game is the classic matchup of Orange v. Orange. Cincinnati Bengals up against the Cleveland Browns. And Cincinnati, so many people talking as though Cincinnati, remember the beginning of the year, people talked about how the Bengals were going to be one of the top teams in the AFC. They were going to be strong. They were going to be good. We're at week 8, and somehow nobody has talked about the fact that they have not done any of that. They have not done anything they have expected to do. They are a mid-tier team. They have lost and won. They struggled against teams like the Steelers. It's just, and I'm not that impressed with them. Cleveland has been letting me down when I picked them, but trying to get a couple points up on the leader. And if everyone is going to go with the Bengals, who are very inconsistent, I'm going to pick the Cleveland Browns and hope they get a gut punch right through on Monday Night Football. So those are my picks and predictions, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know your picks down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys back here for week 9 of the NFL 2022 season. So hope you guys have a really good Sunday. I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.